How's it going, everybody? Shinigami here to bring you another Nintendo Switch 2 update, direct information stuff, whatever that's been going on. I kind of fucked up my last intro, so we gotta redo it. Oh well. As many of y'all have seen, the direct itself was very good. A lot of promising titles. You know, the 007, whatchamacallit, you got the Blood... Oh my god, Dusk Blood or whatever it was from FromSoft, which is basically being a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. It's kind of like Bloodborne. And then you have the obvious opening titles that are coming out when the game drops, or when the console drops, like Super Mario Kart World. And that's where we start to see, you know, we were a little bit blindsided by just the presentation, because they didn't announce any prices during the presentation, even for the Switch 2 itself, until after. And a lot of people noticed just how big of a gap this is. As some of you may have seen, a lot of people are still adjusting to the $70 price tag of the recent quadruple A games, whatever, triple A. And it kind of makes people wonder, like, well, this is already a pretty penny we had to spend. And now they're wanting us to dish out $80 for just a pure digital copy, and then $90 for a physical. And now, obviously, not every game is going to be the same. Apparently, the Donkey Kong Bonanza is sitting at $69.99 for digital, and then $79.99 for the physical, but it's still too much. And maybe I'll share a little photo I have here of back in the day with, you know, PlayStation 1 and 64 Genesis and all that stuff, where Nintendo did have their prices actually up there as well back in the day. But that's kind of what caused that whole gaming crash in the 90s, because things were just too expensive that people were just like, you know what, I'm not going to pay fucking $80 for a video game. And obviously even back then was less justified. I mean, I'd say there was a lot less content you have as opposed to nowadays. And for instance, for us with Monster Hunter Worlds, I feel like the longevity of that game outweighs the price tag significantly. But with this new introduction, where even some of the Switch 2 edition upgrades, it actually bumps up the games from being already like $60, adding $10 to $15 more. So like Breath of the Wild, the Mario Odyssey, the Kirby, and all that stuff, it's starting to be a little bit outrageous. Because as it is, you know, we already had the price hike and the justification being like, well, you get better graphics, better frame rates, and stuff like that. Well, also you still have to end up downloading a significant amount of the game onto your hard drive, which shouldn't be the case. You know, I mean, we have discs and cartridges that should hold enough, you know, fucking memory within them to put out all the content from that little game or CD, whatever, and play it as it is. But I don't know whether it's the coding or the compression issues that they have, that they can't seemingly put everything on a disc or a cartridge, but the excuse is not working on everybody, as we'll get into here. Now, from just this alone, many people are, obviously the AI thing, but you can look up, like here, for instance. This is from the US retailer Walmart, but it's, you know, still showing the actual prices that we got. So the Kirby's Forgotten Land sitting at $79.99. Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition, $69.99. Super Mario Party Jamboree, again, $80. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, $80. And, you know, the base, you know, Mario Kart World, $79.99. And yeah, we're starting to get muddied in the water here with all these, oh, well, you know, now you can play at, you know, 60 to 120 frames a second on the handheld mode, and then when you have it docked, you have it at 4K support, HDR. But, I mean, does it really justify that price tag? I will say, if you do buy the bundle for the Switch 2 and you get the Mario Kart Worlds with it, you're basically paying like $50 for the game. That is the only discounted deal that you have, I guess, at the moment, because That's pretty outrageous, not gonna lie. Whereas, back in the day, as we'll see here, looking at here, where, their games used to be sitting at 50, 60 bucks. I still feel like that's a justifiable dollar amount for these games, but I don't know if it's, just trying to increase profit margins or whatever. The investors are telling them, hey, we need to make more money. It doesn't make sense because the Switch was already a very successful console. It was in line for, getting the top spot of bestsellers. You obviously have the, the DS. I think the PlayStation 2 was the one on top. And then after that, I think it was the DS, like I said. So DS and PlayStation 2 were top sellers. And then, you got the Wii and now the Switch. But it's hard to justify that these prices should be what we pay for now, because there's many other reasons. Huh? The fan? Oh yeah, I did turn it off. My bad. Hold up. Yeah, it was different times back then, and hopefully all y'all are still sticking around until I actually get through my whole little presentation. But again, here, some Nintendo 2 games will be more expensive. Many Switch games only cost $59, but 2 of Nintendo's flagship titles are at a higher price. Again, the $79 and the $69.99. These aren't the first titles to exceed $59.99. That honor goes to Tears of the Kingdom, which was at $69.99. But it really should have stayed at that. It really should have stayed at that, as it is, as we'll go here to Reddit. Even though it does have some bad takes quite a bit of times, then we also find some gems within there, right? Like I said here, people were just, Nintendo's just fast tracking the increase in standard game prices. Like, damn, I thought 70 bucks was a ceiling. Was going to be this ceiling for a lot longer. That's not the case. And obviously, I'm sure GTA 6 now at this point is going to be like, haha, 90 bucks, guys, come on. And I don't really agree with that. I still feel like, 70 bucks is where we should hit that limit, because my problem with this is with some of these games already being so expensive, you already have certain microtransactions that you can get in the game, right? Obviously for like the 2K games and Madden or EA games, you have those currencies for your player or your own little rosters and stuff like that people spend on or whatever. But like, again, that's already a lot more money than what you're putting into the game. And I don't mind something being like a free-to-play game and having microtransactions, because then it makes sense for that game to be, trying to survive. You're putting in money to that, so that way the servers are paid for, employees that are working on it, and future updates, right, still get made. But a game that already costs 70 bucks, and now at this point, going to be 90 bucks for some of them, you're asking for a lot. I remember for me personally, when I had gotten my Halo Reach Special Edition, that one was 90 bucks. But I didn't just get the game with it. I got a neat little... Actually, fuck it, I'll just grab it. As we can see here. Oh, we'll go into... I still got it. I still got my fucking Halo Reach thing. Why? Because this thing was fucking expensive back in the day. And it came with some pretty badass things. As we can see here. I don't have the game in there right now, but... you had this little container for the game. And then other than that, you had some stuff here. You had General Halsey's fucking journal. Right here, we got a map of Reach. Okay, and little notes in here and there. And like I said, you got Dr. Halsey's journal. You got some other little decoded shit. But it was justified. in your price because you are getting something physical, not just the game. I think you even got like some exclusive armor for getting that. But look, they would never do something like this nowadays, right? Look, you open this up and you just see all the contents in here, and you can just read up. If you've already read, you know, Halo: The Fall of Reach, this just adds that much more substance for these, you know, the game and all that. And I'd say, yeah, you know, you're justified in that purchase being $90 because getting something like this, all these little extra trinkets and things like that, makes sense. But for $90 nowadays, and all I'm getting is possibly just the base game, nothing else special about it, that's where I'm gonna have a little bit more conflict of interest. Because, again, when it was special back in the day, it was special for a reason. But yeah, again, there was a reason why you had it be as expensive as it was. Here we even have Game Rant. Fans are roasting Nintendo Switch 2 games, which a lot of people are saying, lower the price, lower it. And honestly, there's always going to be the diehards out there, right? The whales that will just put in as much fucking money into a company or whatever, the fanboys. But this one hopefully gets a lot more clapback because that's pretty crazy. I mean, I think the console itself is a decent price, especially with all the new mechanics that are invested into it, right? The better microphone, the game chat, which actually the game chat does look like shit. How about we take a trip down there real quick and just see what we got going there. There we go. Even though it did fucking freeze mid fucking stream, which was kind of funny. But, so again, let us move forward. When they have this part and their game sharing, look at how choppy the bottom is. And I've heard some people be like, oh, well, that's not that bad compared to, whatchamacallit, you know, Discord. And I'm like, no, because I know when I'm sharing my games and stuff like that to my friends on Discord, this choppiness when I'm showing a game does not happen unless it's really, really bad. Again, one of the good aspects of this fucking game, of the voice chat, game chat, whatever, or even just the implementation of this, is this webcam, game camera, whatever that they got going on here, where you can actually be in a game, or it's like this, where it's kind of like a pseudo green screen-esque kind of thing. Like, all right, that's fine. But again, as we move forward, where was the Mario Party Jamboree? Like, well, the fact that, like, look, there's already a lot of, you can consider it gatekeeping. You cannot use your prior SD card anymore. You have to use a SD micro SD express card, which, for all intents and purposes, has a slight difference. It's supposed to be faster, but fucking sucks that you have to, you know, dish out another, who knows how much they are. I think it's about $40, $50, probably more. And then, as I was saying, like, here they actually have you in the game with the little webcam thing or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool implementation for the console itself, but when the game itself is $80, $90, that's when, again, you're starting to lose us. You're starting to lose us, even though we got some good shit here. Yeah, cool. I can play Metroid Prime 4 as a like with the mouse control, whatever. Which, yeah, nice. Whatchamacallit? Where is that other one? This was another big deal. The fact that they, you know, introduced the GameCube games coming, which I do greatly adore it and love it. But if that's all I'm going to purchase the Switch 2 for, at least let me purchase the games and keep them, right? I'm okay with some of the older games, but I don't know where this distinction just left their priority, where on the 3DS and on the Wii U, when you bought the retro games, you kept the retro games. And it just seems like Nintendo doesn't want to stray away from having it be on like a server that you just connect to and can play it at any time. Because if that service goes out, guess what? On the 3DS, I still have all the games that I purchased that were retro. And they're never going to get taken away from me because I have them downloaded on my fucking console. But this, if the service goes out, I'll never get that back. I'll never get to play these games again because the service died. My save state's all gone. I get what they're trying to do, but no. Was this one Dustblood? If I can show, yeah, it is Dustblood. I was trying to remember the name of it. Like, alright, like that's good From Software thing, but anyways, all I'm trying to get at is these pricings are very much too much right now, and not a lot of people are really up for that. And with many different articles pointing it out, many normal people just chiming in, pointing out that, you know, 90 bucks is way too much, 80 bucks is too much. You know, if we kept it at 70, it's still more bearable. But, and someone else brought up a good point. The fact that, you know, there are still Nintendo Switch 1 games, right, that are still at full price 8 years later is not a good sign. Because, well, if they're going to be that expensive still 8 years past and they don't go down, for an example, Pokemon games, those prices only went up. And any other retro Pokemon game, if you want to get it, they're sitting way past this fucking amount. Some of them are sitting at 130, 150 bucks because they don't make them anymore. And there's no other real easy way to get the game. So whatever's out there in the market, some people are going to dish it out. And obviously if you get lucky and you find something that's below 100 bucks, that's good. But it just shows that a lot of these Nintendo games hold their value, and if anything, they actually go up in price because the scarcity of it. And it's not like Nintendo likes to make these things available later on down the line. It's just unfortunate. And all in all, as one of those people, would definitely say we need to drop that price down a lot more, because as it stands, 90 bucks is a lot for a game. And even if you're getting it in a bundle, fine, but all the other games after that are not in a bundle, so you're paying full price for it. It's gonna definitely scare off a lot more people. And obviously the kids that want to play these games, the adults are gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to really wait a long time just to possibly get one game. And I know back in the day, some people used to be able to get a new video game every like once a month or even more than that, because they weren't that expensive. You know, you're only spending 40 bucks on a game. But now that you're spending this much, yeah, you're gonna be like, once every 3 months here, I'll get you a game. Possibly, maybe. And that's for the people that have less strict parents that are willing to dish it out and then have the money to do so. That doesn't necessarily fit everybody's budget. But we'll end it off there. Hey, Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good night and good evening, good morning. See you next time. Bye.